Hey there, Facebook. I'm having a good hair day, so I thought I might as well come, go live and talk to you all. While I feel like my hair is really looking good today. So happy Monday. I am going to talk to you about something that I've been working on. So this is something that's been kind of cooking behind the scenes since I would say like late January, early February. And it is a new program that I've developed for pre-tenure faculty women. And it's called Amplify the Faculty Writing Accelerator. And the basis for this program is a new framework that I've created. So I've been doing writing coaching for academic women for a long time now, more than 3 years. And I have seen, I've developed a lot of programs. I've been working behind the scenes or working one-on-one with a lot of women. And so I've really refined what I think people need to get their writing and publishing done and feel really good about it. So that's the part that I think Amplify emphasizes more than maybe my previous programs. Although I've always been saying we want to feel less stressed and we want things to feel full of ease and we don't want to feel like we're running ourselves into the ground. So, but I would say that has become a bigger and bigger part of my message since, over the years. So what I want to do now is just show you this really cool framework that I developed. So let me do that. And I'm sharing my screen with you. Okay. So this is the Amplify Framework. And you will see that it has 3 main bubbles, and where everything crosses over is called Amplify. So the idea of Amplify is amplifying your voice, amplifying your presence as a scholar, but also as a mentor. And just this idea, in Spanish, amplio, which is not exactly the same as amplify, but has the same root, means kind of bigger and more comfortable. And that is kind of the essence of what I want people to feel as they're developing themselves through the tenure process. So the tenure process feels kind of, horrible for most people. It feels very stressful. Every single woman who I have asked, do you know what your tenure requirements are? Everybody says, no, they're not clear. So we are at kind of a historical moment as well in higher education, especially in North American systems, where there's so many PhDs on the market. There's so much pressure to publish more because there's the market's flooded. So now, when I got my PhD, you didn't have to have publications to get a job, but now you do, seriously. So things have really changed. And a lot of times, and what happens is you end up kind of entering your job on the tenure track, and you are going up for tenure. And if you look at the records of the people who went up for tenure before you, you can't compare because it was a different time. And so what we really are struggling to do, and what I'm trying to help people do, is to make the tenure process a process that doesn't feel like a runaway train, doesn't feel like out of control, doesn't feel like you just have to work yourself into the ground, but instead feels like I'm developing myself as a scholar. I am figuring out who I am. I am getting to do the things I really want to do to keep a job that I really love. So I came up with this framework. And so this framework has, Amplify in the middle. This is more writing, more publishing, more voice, bigger space that we're taking up, but also amplifying kind of our presence in academia as women. And so we start here with Clarify. Now, Clarify, in this part of the framework, we're talking about getting very, very clear on what your academic mission is, right? And I talk about this all the time. I have a blog post about how to write an academic mission statement. This is where all my programs start, with articulating in writing your mission as an academic. And then what we need to do is figure out how we're going to use that mission. So one of the ways we use it is to make sure that all of our activities that we do as a scholar line up behind that mission. That way we don't feel so pulled. And also we need to be thinking about strategizing our pipeline from a perspective of our mission statement. So one of the mistakes that I see people making a lot is like, especially pre-tenure, it's just like, I'll just write anything. Like any publication is good. And what I would like to suggest to you is that perhaps just writing anything is not, or just publishing anything or getting a publication off of a something is not really the goal. The goal should be much more calculated. It should be much more considered. It should not just be, let's do anything. Let's create a strategy for your pipeline that's really going to make yourself stand out as a scholar, and it's going to feel really, really good to you. Okay. And then the second part is demystify. And what that refers to is just kind of the silly idea that we have in academia that it's a big secret how we get anything done. Okay, so we see our mentors and they are not necessarily showing us like what the day-to-day life of a professor is. And so a lot of the learning curve pre-tenure is that, like, how do I manage the day-to-day activities? Okay, once all of a sudden, like, I have all my research, all my writing, getting grants, publishing things, teaching the classes, doing the committees, and all the things at one time, like how you manage that, like, we don't really ever learn that. So it's time to pull back the curtain and figure that out. And so the way we do that is by creating writing systems, creating a mindset around how we approach things, a mindset of learning, a mindset of, it shouldn't be a big secret how things get done. You're not stupid if you don't know how to manage your academic life. You're not stupid. Like, this is really something. We also shouldn't all be reinventing the wheel all the time. And then managing your pipeline. So it shouldn't be a big secret how to do pipeline management. And so that's also part of the demystify part. Now, in the overlap between clarify and demystify, we're going to really save time. So the result of having clarity and learning the systems and behind the scenes things to get your academic work done, the result is that you save time, our most precious resource. All right. And then the last part of this framework is multiply. So in multiply, the idea is that you are systeming yourself up, right? Like, you're going to implement these systems and really kind of bring them to the next level by making sure everything you do has a system, that you have a plan, that you trust the plan, that you enact the plan. Also by creating community and connecting with other scholars who are like-minded and also want to have an open dialogue about how to get their writing done. And then mentoring for change, which I think is the biggest part with, we want to make sure that we know how to do mentorship to other academic women, that we are kind of almost like scaling up what we do, right? We're multiplying ourselves in the world by being better mentors and showing, teaching other people these things that we've learned. So at the cross between clarify and multiply, you get publishing more. You're super clear on your goals. You have the systems and the community for support, and you're going to get your more publishing done. And then at the crossover between demystifying and multiplying, we're changing academic culture. We are exposing to the world these things, these systems and techniques, and the mindset that's going to create better writers and mentors and better professors who aren't just running themselves into the ground, which is what we want to completely eliminate. Okay, so I just wanted to share this with you. I would love to hear your thoughts on this framework. I also would love, if you are a pre-tenure woman, if you're a pre-tenure, and it doesn't matter where in the pre-tenure process, ideally, you would actually be early in the tenure process. But in our first cohort of 8 people in the Amplify program, we have a lot of people in year 3. So sometimes I think that we start in year 1 and year 2, and we do, and it's not until year 3 where we go, oh man, I really could use some help doing this. So, but I'm happy to accept you into the Amplify program at any, spot in pre-tenure, but earlier is a little bit better. And I will be doing a webinar on Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern. Okay, Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern. If you're on my email list, you already know about this webinar. So you got an email this morning. You'll get another email tomorrow morning in case you missed that one, where you can sign up for the webinar. You have to sign up to come, and to see the webinar. So if you are not on my email list, but you would like to be, what you can do is you can join my I Should Be Writing Facebook group. And when you're joining that group, there are 3 questions that you need to answer. And one of them is, if you'd like to receive emails from me, you can put your email in that spot. So you can go ahead and do that, and then you'll be sure to get the email information about Wednesday's webinar. And Wednesday's webinar is called Write Your Way to Tenure. It will be less than an hour, and what I'm going to be going over is like the core strategies and things you should be focused on in order to feel comfortable with your number and quality of publications when you're going up for tenure. So if you'd like to see that webinar on Wednesday, you need to get in on my email list, and you can do that by going to the I Should Be Writing Facebook group. And all you have to do is like searching groups I Should Be Writing, and you will find it. It's just facebook.com/groups/I Should Be Writing, all smushed together. And answer the questions. One of them will be, what is your email address if you'd like to get some emails from me? And you can put your email address in there, and you will be getting the information about the webinar. Now, even if you aren't pre-tenure, I invite you to join the I Should Be Writing Facebook group. It is a wonderful place full of academic women who are working together to get their writing done. We have check-ins every week about our weekly wins. We talk about what's holding us back. We really, like, when you get something published, we all jump up and down for you. It's also a great place to make sure you're aware of all my upcoming programs and events, and you can see you'll be able to, we post like my blog posts and stuff. So if you are an academic woman who wants to write and publish more at any stage of your career, come on over to the I Should Be Writing Facebook group. So I hope I'll see you at my webinar on Wednesday at 10 o'clock Eastern. Join I Should Be Writing, and I will see you on the interwebs. Bye.